Safety is an important consideration in the design of your John Deere utility ATV. Safety for you and the people around you. But it's your responsibility to understand and follow safe operating practices. This video covers some of the important points for safe operation. Please watch it, save it, and share it with others who may operate your John Deere utility ATV. The John Deere utility ATV is not a toy. It's designed to be a work vehicle that can get the job done even in tough conditions. It's important that no one younger than 16 years old ever operates your John Deere utility ATV, and no one ever carries passengers. To get the most from your utility ATV, you should thoroughly read and understand your operator's manual and complete the ATV Safety Institute Rider Course, a half-day hands-on training program that is available nationwide. This course is offered free for all who qualify. For more information, call 1-800-887-2887. Safety starts with having and using the right gear. You can never completely protect yourself, but wearing the right protective gear when you ride can reduce the chance of injury and make you more comfortable. Never operate your ATV without over-the-ankle boots, long pants, a long-sleeve shirt or jacket, gloves, and eye protection. And never operate your ATV without the most important piece of protective gear, your helmet. It can help prevent a serious head injury or even death. Select an approved helmet that meets or exceeds your state's safety standards and carries the Department of Transportation label, the American National Standards Institute label, or the Snell Memorial Foundation label. Regular sunglasses don't provide the kind of eye protection you need when you ride an ATV. Always wear a face shield or goggles that are securely fastened and free from scratches. Before you ride, it's important to give your machine a thorough pre-ride inspection. An easy way to remember what to check is the acronym T-Clock. This stands for tires and wheels, controls, lights and switches, oil and fuel, and chassis and drive shaft. Your ATV is designed to run with low tire pressure. Check your operator's manual or the decal on your ATV for the proper inflation. Also check the condition of the tires for cuts, cracks, or other signs of wear. Make sure the wheel axle nuts are on tight and there are no dents or cracks in the wheel rims. Test the throttle and other cables to make sure they all move freely and snap closed with the handlebars in any position. Check to see that they operate smoothly and the foot brake is firmly attached and positioned for safe operation. Check the lights, including the tail lights, to make sure they're all in working condition even if you don't plan to be out after dark. Turn the ignition switch off and on during your warm-up period to make sure it works properly. Also check the engine stop switch to see if it turns the engine off. Check the fuel level and the oil level. Always start your ride with a full fuel tank. Check for fuel or oil leaks. Also check your ATV drive shaft for oil leaks and maintain the oil supply as described in your operator's manual. With the engine off, look and feel for loose parts such as nuts and bolts and other fasteners. If it's loose, make sure you fix it before heading out. Also make sure you have a good tool kit and a first aid kit along. Most ATV problems can be fixed away from the shop if you have the right assortment of tools and spare parts, and you know how to use them. We also recommend that you keep a first aid kit with the ATV at all times for those unexpected emergencies. Riding an ATV is different than driving a tractor, a car, or riding a motorcycle. If you're new to ATV riding, start by practicing in a large, flat, open area free of obstacles and hazards. Begin with the basic skills such as riding in a straight line, shifting, and braking. After some practice, you'll be better prepared to put your John Deere utility ATV to work. When you start your ATV, you're responsible for controlling it. Read the operator's manual section on starting your ATV and use the starting procedures represented by the letters BONE C, which stand for brakes, on, neutral, engine, and choke. Apply the brake. Turn the fuel valve to on or reserve position, depending on how much fuel is in the machine. Turn the ignition key on. Put the transmission in neutral or park. Check that the engine stop switch is in the start position. If the engine is cold, put the choke in the on position. With the Bone Seat checklist completed, you're ready to start the engine according to the directions in your operator's manual. Once the machine is warmed up, return the choke to its normal position. The correct riding posture will help you operate the controls and react more quickly when shifting your body weight. As you operate in a straight line, your head and your eyes should be up, looking well ahead. Your shoulders should be relaxed and your back straight, elbows bent slightly out and away from your body. Keep both hands on the handlebars, knees in near the seat, and both feet on the floorboards, with your toes pointing straight ahead. Your ATV is rider active, which means you shift your body weight to achieve the best performance. This is especially true when you turn, negotiate hills, and cross obstacles. Some John Deere utility ATVs have a shifting capability. You should read the operator's manual for specifics on how to shift. In general, always release the throttle when you shift to prevent undue wear on the transmission and to keep the unit from unexpectedly lurching as it changes gears. Sudden shifting to a lower gear may cause deceleration and/or loss of control. It is important to follow the instructions on braking, weight shifting, and avoiding hills that are overly steep so that the ATV does not tip over. Here are some general braking tips. Release the throttle, allow the engine to begin to slow the ATV, apply both front and rear brakes equally. Avoid excessive braking while cornering. Apply brakes lightly on slippery surfaces, and when going down a hill, shift to a low gear or let the engine braking capability slow the vehicle so you don't ride the brake for long periods of time. When you park your ATV, stop the engine, put the transmission in park, and engage the parking brake by pulling back on the hand lever and pushing the thumb latch so it locks into position. Avoid parking on an incline. When you turn, move your body weight forward and to the inside of the turn. Turn the handlebars while looking in the direction of the turn. When you come to a hill, use common sense. Some hills are simply too steep for your abilities and your ATV. If the hill looks too steep, it probably is. The key to being a good hill rider is to shift your weight into the hill. When you approach a hill, keep your feet firmly on the floorboards, move up on the seat, and lean forward, or stand and position your torso over the front wheels. Shift into a lower gear if possible and speed up slightly before climbing the hill so you can maintain momentum. If you can't see what's over the crest of a hill, slow down until you have a clear view. Before you start down any hill, choose a path as straight as possible without obstacles in your way. Shift your weight to the rear, keep your speed low, and use a low gear. Control the speed of the machine by gradually applying both front and rear brakes. When you drive across a slope, instead of directly up or down, that's called traversing. Avoid traversing slopes with very slippery, rough, or loose surfaces. Keep both feet firmly on the footrests. Lean your upper body uphill. If the terrain is soft, you may need to turn your front wheels gently uphill to keep your ATV on a straight line across the hill. Your John Deere utility ATV is designed to help you make even your toughest tasks more enjoyable. Once you get familiar with your machine, you'll be ready to tackle all kinds of projects. No matter what type of load you carry, keep the load securely fastened and as low as possible. Higher placed loads affect the stability of the ATV. Always use more caution in turns when carrying a load. Refer to your owner's manual and/or labels on your specific model to determine the maximum vehicle load capacity of your John Deere utility ATV. Remember, payload is more than just pounds carried. It's load density and the way the cargo is loaded on the machine. On uneven or hilly terrain, you may need to reduce your load. If your ATV is equipped with a winch, be sure to read and understand the winch section of your operator's manual before attempting to use it. We recommend that you keep the operator's manual in a sealed plastic bag with the machine at all times for use as reference material. Now that you know some of the basics about handling your John Deere utility ATV, let's look at a few safe riding practices. First and foremost, anyone under the age of 16 should not operate a John Deere utility ATV. Riding an ATV is more demanding and more tiring than driving a car. To ride safely, you have to be in good physical and mental condition. Drinking alcohol and riding an ATV can be fatal. Consumer Product Safety Commission studies show that 30% of all ATV riders killed in ATV accidents had been drinking. Alcohol and ATVs do not mix. The same is true for drugs. Do not operate your vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And be aware that many over-the-counter and prescription drugs may have side effects that can affect safe operation.